Hey everyone, this is Nick from Mecca Warehouse, and today we're back with weekly update number 87. And let's jump into it with week in review. So we talk about what's been going on, things that are coming up, stuff like that. And I guess I should start off with this is probably one of the last few weekly updates we're going to do from this warehouse. The lease got signed a couple days ago, so the lease is now good to go. It's official. We're moving to this new space up in Concord, New Hampshire. There definitely were some pictures on social media, and the video that we put out on Tuesday was actually, I really enjoyed that video. Santana did a great job with it, and it kind of shows the whole path from the Mecca hallway, if you will, all the way up to the new space that we're going into, kind of the search for that new space, stuff like that. Been working on coming up with plans for the move itself. Right now, it looks like we'll likely be moving on, starting on July 8th, I think. July 7th, that Thursday, we'll likely take the website offline into some sort of maintenance mode around noontime because we don't want people purchasing things while we're moving. One, so we don't get completely buried. Need to dig out the second we get into the new space with orders that came in during the move. And two, stuff gets broken when you move sometimes, and I don't want someone to buy something, the last of something perhaps, and have that get damaged or destroyed in the move somehow, and then not be able to fulfill it. So website will go down on the 7th around noontime Eastern time. It'll be down for the duration of the move. We'll start moving stuff on that Friday and hopefully be back up and running by maybe the following Friday, but definitely by a week from the Monday following the start of the move. The 18th, I believe, is when we should be up and running for sure. We'll be putting out more content related to the move, kind of some of our plans for the move, and of course, we'll definitely be vlogging throughout the move and have probably several vlogs related to our last few weeks here in the warehouse and the move itself. And I'm really excited and also really nervous at the same time about it because it's going to be a big undertaking. When I do all the math about how much stuff we physically have in this warehouse versus how much I had in the house when I moved to this warehouse, it's a lot more stuff, which means a lot more trips, a lot more lifting, a lot more things that could break, a lot more work on the other end to set things back up. And it's going to be good. I think it's going to be good when it's over, and it's going to be an interesting problem to get everything over there and set up in a timely manner and coordinating everybody and making that all happen. So I'm looking forward to it, but it's going to be rough. In that same vein, some of our last shipments that are coming here have been scheduled. I've put all of our incoming shipments on hold. One shipped, I believe, last night that's on its way, and I think there's one more that was already being packed when I called BNTCA up to say, hey, don't ship us more stuff until we're done moving, or at least partway through the move. And that stuff will either go into the last restock, which will likely be July 1st, I think, unless we happen to receive it and maybe do an extra restock afterwards. Depending on when it arrives, we'll either try to just set it aside to bring to the new warehouse and check it in there, or reroute it if we can, or it will get here and it'll be part of the last restock here. So we'll see what happens with all that. A lot of things up in the air. Got a humongous list of places to call and notify about address changes and things to coordinate, materials to buy for the move, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be a lot, I think, but we're getting close. The one other thing going on this week, just to top things off, is Dylan's on vacation, basically up until like the very beginning of the move. He'll be back, I think, a few days into the move. And Patrick is out tomorrow, aka today, the day this video went live, Friday. So Friday's going to be really interesting. I'm sure I'll have some stories for next week's weekly update because I'll basically be doing all the customer service stuff myself. So definitely, if you're adding a ding and dent to an order or have an issue and you need an order held, get those notes over ASAP, because I'm going to be flailing doing what I usually do on Friday, printing orders, making sure everything's going smoothly, and dealing with the customer service messages, and who knows what else, because I'm going to be, it'll be a good test of where I'm at personally, I think. So So that's basically it for Week in Review. Let's move on to Nick's Tips. This week I wanted to give you another kind of administrative kit info kind of thing, and talk about how to find manuals and possibly other information about kits online as well. It definitely used to be a little bit easier, but it's really not that hard anymore. You can go online and basically go to search for hobby search, but it's 1999.co.jp. If you go to the website by default, there's an ENG at the end. That's the English site, and as of I don't know, a month or two ago, they were no longer, all Japanese retailers were no longer allowed to sell to overseas customers. They took the stuff off their English site, but if you take out the /ENG that often populates at the end of the website, so it's purely just 1999.co.jp, you can then search for the product name, keywords, etc. Keep in mind it's a Japanese site once you take that ENG out, so you would need to convert to katakana or something if you're going to search for the name. But if you happen to know the SKU or the JAN code, and I can actually grab one right here, the numbers that are most useful, the JAN code, which is basically that UPC, that's the Japanese version of the UPC. If you put that into the search bar, that should come up with the kit. It also appears that they're currently using the number, the right side of the number right above the UPC as well, and that might be helpful if you're searching for that. They've got images from the box, they've got all that kind of stuff, and for almost all the products on there, they do have scans of the manuals themselves. So maybe you lost your manual, maybe you're looking for a manual for a kit that you're interested in getting and want to see if it might go together the way you think for a kit bash or something like that. That can be very useful. So that's it for Nick's Tips. Let's talk about pre-orders. All right, this week we added 8 new pre-orders. As of recording this, though, only 7 of them are still available. The one that's not available is the frame arms Hatsune Miku and Tamotu. It was a kind of a mashup of Hatsune Miku and the Tamotu in the same kind of color scheme. We obviously have more coming beyond what we ordered for pre-orders, or what we put up for pre-orders, but we only put about half of our incoming stock up as pre-orders, and we were limited in how many they would give us. So that's why they sold out so fast. We also got, I think we added 2 new Zoids, the Iron Kong Marking Plus version and Geno Breaker repackaged version. Both look pretty cool. There were 4 Hexagear kits. There's a Hexagear Governor Engineer Set Type A, which is kind of cool. It looks like it's got 2 kind of governors, little action figure dudes dressed up like engineers' overalls, toolboxes, and they got a little robot dude too. It looks pretty cool. But they also came out with 2 forklifts, Hexagear Booster Pack 06 forklift type, and there's an orange and a dark blue version. They both look pretty cool. I think I might actually be snagging one of those, and maybe the engineer set when they come in. And then finally, the Hexagear Alternative Messer Float, which is a very interesting, almost like Hornet Wasp kind of design. So if you ever wanted a Mecha Wasp or Hornet, that might be a cool kit to grab. And then finally, Flame Toys, we put up the AWE Striker. I believe it's the vehicle for Snake Eyes, the figure that they put out relatively recently. And I have to say, it definitely captures the G.I. Joe vehicle vibe. It looks kind of cool. All right, that's it for pre-orders. Let's move on to restocks. So, restocks. So we got a bunch of stuff here, it's a good selection of a few things here. We have more stuff arriving hopefully this morning, and we might have it up as well. It's just not currently checked in. So definitely check out the website just in case, because there's a bunch of Kodo expected to be here, and there might be some other straggling items from Bandai that are not up as well. First off, master grades. We got the Crossbone X1 full cloth. We didn't get a ton of these. They'll probably be limited to 1 per, and I don't expect them to last super long. So if you want one, grab them quick. I think we had them a few weeks ago and they didn't last long at all. We also got these Astray Red Frame Powered Reds. These also didn't last super long. When we had them, they're relatively new release, and we managed to find a stash of them and get them in. So if you missed out on them before, now's a good chance. We got 4 different AIM kits in. Brady Hound, Murin, the Stork Carrier, and the Miles Kenbu Zahn. This is like, I think, essentially the Kai equivalent of some Gundam kits, right? Where it's partway through the series, they upgrade the suit or something, and those are now available as well. Some of those I think we've had in stock, some are back in stock, so check those out. We got all the Batmobiles back in stock. These I think were all sold out. The Batman version, the Batman's Begins version, the Tumbler, whoops, and Batman version, just to not be confusing at all in the naming. So we got that one there. We got a few Gundam kits this week as well. The SDW Heroes Nobunaga Gundam Epion. So one of these SD Gundam World Heroes kits back in stock. We got the Wing Gundam, real grade Wing Gundam. We've had these in stock. We've got plenty in stock, so I don't expect them to disappear necessarily. But if you want 1 or 2, now's a good time to get them off our hands so we don't have to move them. The Zaku 1 Sniper, these are back in stock. We got an okay number of these, I think. Not a ton of them though, and they're usually pretty popular when they do come in. It's kind of a cool kit, kind of a cool design, really. And then we also got some more of the Zaku 2 High Mobility type. This is the Ortega Custom. So this is with the big axe. I definitely put one of these in my backlog because I was weak. We also got a few other good items over here. Pokemon, Riolu, and Lucario. I guess they're both related or something because they're both in the same kit. So I don't know anything about those ones. Those must be part of the newer series of Pokemon because I only remember the original ones. We got more of these X boards. This is the clear version, I think. This is a little display base kind of thing that might be useful for smaller kits and action figures to display them. We also got a bunch of G-Frame and Ava Frame stuff in. So Ava Frame 03. I
like those might be the same.
I think these are different. There's a bunch. We don't have them all over here. There's I think like 5 different variants in the set. You can buy them individually. These are interesting that they're basically like a frame and armor, and then there's a moving frame you can move the armor to. Or at least that's how the G frames work. They're like little articulating figures. They're kind of interesting. We can get the set with all the. I think there's like 5 different ones that are in there all together, or you can get the individuals if there's a certain series you want. Same thing with the G frame. This is FA01, so this one has the Freedom Gundam, Dual Gundam, Assault Shroud, Alex NT1, and the new Gundam. So a bunch of those. I think if you buy the set of this, it comes with 5, so all 4 and a duplicate of 1. So it might be less enticing unless you really are into that. And then we also got some more of these option body parts for the 30 Minute Sisters in. Hopefully we'll see 30 Minute Sisters themselves in again in the near future. But if you didn't pick one of those up before and need it for your build, we got it. And like I said, we expect Kotobukiya to arrive today. If it arrives early enough and we can get on it, that should be checked in and hopefully available for the restock as well. But you'll want to check out on the website to be sure. Okay, that was it for Restocks this week. Let's go on to Q&A. So Q&A, this is the part where I talk about, or where I answer questions from you, the viewer. If you've got a question you want answered, you can post it down in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer it next time. First up from David Rincon. Hey Nick, any plans to start carrying Volks kits, specifically the 5-star stories? I would buy those on a heartbeat from you guys. We're going to look into it. There's a lot of stuff that we plan on picking up once we get to the new warehouse and get settled. It's going to take a little bit to search out all these brands and to come up with the capital to make the purchases required to get the stuff in. But we're going to have space. We're going to want to fill that space with stuff. So Volks kits might be part of that. Paints, tools, things like that. There's a bunch of lines that we've thought about carrying or people have been asking about for ages, and we just have no room in here for. So the new warehouse should be the solution to all of that. Next up, Daniel Day Ludness. I've got a question, break up the monotony of questions about stuff flying off shelves. Have you ever had a kit that just sat around for ages you just couldn't get rid of because nobody was buying it? This is a great question. There's plenty of items like that. We tend to figure out how to get rid of them eventually, usually. Some of the longest residing kits in the warehouse right now, though, are probably the Toy Story kits. Buzz and Woody have been in the warehouse for a good long time. We had a few other Hexagear booster packs that I think we even took off the website, and we've been trying to cycle them through the Ding and Dent clearance thing, and we have even trouble getting people to purchase them on there. They'll come back around. Like, what other kits have we had forever? Maybe I will put a collection down in the description below with a list of some things that have not moved very well, in case you're interested in looking for them and maybe want to grab something since you asked. But thanks for the question. It's a great question. And then finally, Plastic Germs question: what Gundam series would you like to see more of as gunpla kits, and which grade? So I feel like I'll go to my default answer here. There's a bunch of wing grunt suits that need to get made. Ares needs a kit. A master grade Leo would be amazing. I'd love to see a high grade with Virgo and Virgo 2 and things like that. I think that portion of the wing series, the grunt suits, are very underrepresented, and I think they would do very well, at least here in the US. I know I would buy a stack of high grade Ares and Virgos, for example, if they came back out. And then fun question: what did you collect when you were younger? This is also a great question. So the only thing, I guess two things I collected really with any sort of seriousness as a kid. I definitely had a rock collection, like I feel like a good number of little boys do. Both crappy rocks that I would probably show my parents and be like, look at this random rock I found. But then also some nicer rocks that might have been grabbed in like museum gift shops, you know, the fancier minerals and that kind of stuff. But the thing that I was more serious about and still have my collection of now is a collection of like hat pins, those little lapel pin, hat pin kind of pins. I've got a nice box full of all sorts of pins from basically anywhere we'd go on vacation or whatever. I'd grab a pin from the gift shop. And I'm still adding to that collection now. That was kind of part of the impetus behind the Mecha Warehouse pin that we've got. I think we still have some on the website. It's just, I don't know, something I do, and I've got a whole ton of those. And mainly collected when I was younger, but I guess I've continued with that. I don't really know why I do it. It's just something that kind of started. So that's it for questions. So like I said before, if you've got a question, post it down in the comments below, and I'll try to answer it next week. Thank you for watching. See you next time.